Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Dark Mirror Tarot. We're unweaving here some of our Wicked Witch energy as we travel through this maelstrom. We're giving our attention now to this Queen of Swords and giving her the full reins at our heart space, parenting our inner child, this wild, feral thing that's been guiding us into the eye of the storm. Without her, we would not have reached these lands, and what shores of what worlds await us now are unfathomable to those who would not reach toward these depths. So if you are finding this reading, know that this is the beginning of our journey, yet also be aware this is not an initiation. We've gone through the dark night. We're showing up now with our faculties, and we're prepared, though this is a land without maps, and we have no compass, but our own inner knowing, our own intuition, our own self-mastery of our emotional world. And as we dive through into this portal, this reversed High Priestess energy, this reversed Empress energy that we're exploring here on this channel, we're embracing the loss. We're holding space for our own darkness, but we're not getting lost in it. We acclimate, we acclimise, and we rise, and we bring that energy up through our own rooted sacral and solar portals, through our heart space, through our song, through our mind, out through our crown into the stars. We offer our gift to the world, through us to this dimension, and through this to all others. This King of Cups energy. We are masters of our own emotions now. This last lesson that we have been through, as this year of the fire horse has begun, the bridges we burn do light the way. They don't always create a better path, but still we see. And some of those paths that we have burned are now blocked to us, and it breaks our heart now. And we hold the space now for that loss. We must. There is no other thing for it but strength. Eternally, the maiden reaching into the mouth of the lion. We are the maiden, we are the lion, we are the reaching, we are the fangs. We're the doom looming, we're the void gaping, and we are the key and the prize within. The understanding that we bloom like the rose and blossom for ourselves, and then corrode and fade and reconstruct and live again. this game that we're playing with our inner child now in our high priestess energy, in our empress aspects, in this king of cups, authoritative role. We're giving the inner child a game. I've talked about this in prior readings, and I feel like this King of Cups coming out this morning, showing up as the administrator, the mastery of our emotional world. This is a quiet authority. This is a problem solver and an advisor, realizing that the inner child needs to be happy. We have to appease her in order to subdue that wild kind of demonic tower energy at her heart that continues to spin in very uncontrollable ways. This season, this fire horse season that we're in, this year, this season, I'm referring to it as like this. I believe we're working on this fire flame, this temple in the cave, the work, right? The mountain. For this 9 black moon phase, this is this journey that we're on, and we've just passed through the first portal, the first of the 9. So we're working with this King of Cups energy as we cultivate this fire, and it's the wielding of our sword, as in the Justice card. And I was speaking of this in the last couple readings as well. So if this reading resonates with you, you may want to go back and watch some of my other videos that call to you. We're learning to apply the Saturnian geometry to our Venusian aspects in order to create strategy and bring us into the more Libran qualities of this perfect Venus regimen, if you will. And it is a regimen. It's like a workout that we have to do, and we have to do the reps, 8:13 on the clock. We have to do the reps. We have to show up as our highest selves. We have to focus on our individual self, and then also integrate that into humanity in a purposeful and useful way. And maintaining proper care of our vessel and our heart space is paramount. So we have to keep the inner child happy in order to not be derailed from this new energy and this timeline that we're creating. Acting from this 888 energy, this higher frequency, channeling like exalted scorpionic and Aquarius energies. And like Pluto, and I'm getting Hecate. The star Deneb has something to do with all of this alignment as well, so that may be significant to you. I believe that's in the Swan constellation. So, okay, we have to keep the inner child happy, and this is the game that we're playing, and this is the reading that we're doing today. Because, and also in order to like pull the inner child in and all of that, okay, like demon time energy, you can tap into demonic energy in a very positive way and have a working relationship with these types of energies that doesn't drain you, doesn't cross your boundaries, and doesn't like make you into a succubus or make you like feeding into dark energy. It's a very fiery, fast moving this fire horse energy. Like I was saying, burning bridges doesn't always make a better path. Now we see where we've let this kind of very fiery, very active, potent, this inner child on a rampage energy burn our bridges, burn opportunity, burn our energy up and go nowhere. Okay, but now we are in this eye of the storm. She's taken us to places that we could not have been had she not been the captain of the ship for that time. Okay, but we are where we are now. The game that we're playing and stepping into this high priestess energy, embodying fully the empress energy, this queen of swords. I keep repeating myself and going in loops because I've been in these negative loops. So I'm looping in positive loops now. And so the repetition is key, David. Repetition works. Okay? So looping into positive energy, this is the game we're playing. We're living this daily routine now, okay? When you're confronted with thoughts upon waking of the situation that you're missing, this prize that's been out of reach the last few weeks, however this is manifesting for you. If you're watching this reading in real time, we've just passed through the dark moon on the 14th of July. Today is the 15th. It is a Wednesday. We're in the middle. We're in the in-between. So we're acting as if now that we've passed through this portal, this is the game. That Capricorn energy that we're missing, however that manifests for you, however that lands, it doesn't have to be a Capricorn. It's just that it's a symbol of this Capricornian, Saturnian matrix that I've been discussing. This emperor energy outside of ourselves, this kingly energy that we chase and that we've been chasing, that the inner child is hyper focused on. That energy is coming to visit. Work that into the belief. We're preparing now. We're preparing our space. We're preparing our body. We're preparing our mind. We're preparing our life habits, our situation. We're upgrading to the version holding the space that we need to be in order to accommodate that energy fully. Imagine. Let the inner child's imagination now perceive the belief. Give it a timeline. Let's say at the end of this 9-moon cycle, that the kingly energy is coming to visit. How will you wake? What will you dream? What will you become in order to accommodate this? Truly. Is your wallowing self state of being going to be the way that you will present? Or will you straighten your posture, fix your face, and do what needs to be done? Knock the dust off. Now, our higher self realizes fully that this is a game and a kind of trick we're playing on ourselves. in order to get all of our energy online, in flow, in play. So the inner child is no longer distracted on chasing this king energy. She has jobs to do. She has rooms to clear, be that literal or psyche, energetic clearing, or it could be an actual clearing of your physical space that you would envision, like, wow, like if this is a person, and for my collective and your Venusian beauty and embodiment of the goddess, it probably is, but however this manifests for you, you know, you might like actually come to this reading and consider this energy and think about, look around your space. And, you know, you may have been desiring this person to be in your sphere of living, for example, but maybe they're very far away, energetically or literally, and it's not been something that you've actually had to entertain, like them actually knocking and showing up on your door. But let's imagine that now. And how would you want to present? How would you want to be? Now become what you want to see. That's the echo me. And it is a trick we're playing a bit on the inner child. It's like the white light. It's like a white lie. It's a dome we're creating, a fantasy that we're creating for our own good this time. And like I say, the higher self fully realizes, and keep this higher self online, because this is not a chase. We're not contacting the other person. We're not going out of our way to do things and act from a space that orchestrates situations to draw that person into us in a conniving and cunning way. We are calling on the fox as an ally and cunning as a strategy because of this game that I'm already explaining. Now, ultimately, aligning ourselves with our highest frequency ideally would naturally magnetize our cosmic counterpart and complement at their evolved and highest frequency to meet us there. So it's a win-win, really. And let's not think too deeply on that part. 18:18 on the clock. We're getting into our purpose. So I'm going to do just 4 more cards with the tarot here, with this King of Cups energy. As the idyllic expression of our energy. Masters of our own emotional realm. Okay? And I've already shuffled the deck and cleared the space before I began. So let's see. We show up as the moon. The outside influence, the outside of us, other, that doesn't disappear, but we're not chasing anymore. We're working to acclimate and integrate, okay? And, you know, there's always, like I said, a chance of a coming back around, a reunion point, not necessarily even with the same person, but with the same type of energy. And will you evolve? Will you meet up on a higher level? We get the 5 of coins in reverse. So that's that lack mentality. So it's leading me to believe that this outside energy all right, this outside energy is really chaotic and not in their right mind. They're not ready to forgive you. So definitely don't like do anything to reach out. Stay in this moon aspect. Okay, don't get cocky. Don't get don't get overconfident in this King of Cups energy and think that you can, like I was saying, draw that past situation back in. They're not ready. Let me get the Hanged Man in reverse on the bottom of the deck. They're not ready. They feel betrayed, and your actions have kind of pushed them deeper into their wounding, and they're not emotionally evolved enough, because of their Saturnian nature, and it's so hard for them to process emotions. So they're just they're getting really just deeper into their logical, completely, not even going to confront any emotional type of energy at all, just completely oblivious to it. It honestly causes them too much anxiety and discomfort, and brings up old wounds to a point where they just really can't function. So your emotional outbursts that cause this rift have affected them on deep levels that you don't really realize, and that's a bit arrogant and kind of self-centered of us, because I feel like that's where my energy kind of lands in this scenario too, right? I am we are she. So yeah, let's see what our lesson is. Knight of Cups in reverse, and their lesson is strength. Interesting. So our higher self is perceiving all of this. The inner child, we're going to continue to believe that this energy is returning. This is wish fulfillment. We're letting the inner child drink the Kool-Aid, okay? We just are. And that's going to bring us online. We have to maintain this forward momentum. What was I looking at? I was looking at the Hanged Man in reverse. Betrayal, often of the self. So that's on the bottom of the deck. So it's and you and your twin flame person are mirroring each other, right? So we have to make sure we're not betraying ourselves. Even though we feel this sense of guilt and wanting to help fix the damage that we've done, and that we have hurt them on some soul level, they don't want our comfort, they don't want our compassion, they don't want anything from us right now. And to continue to try to give that way, in the same way that we've been doing, is a betrayal of the self and this higher version of self that we're working from now. in the King of Cups energy. But they really view us as a dependent child. And that is really the energy that we gave them. You know, when maybe we first met, this other, we were presenting in a more authentic version of self. And because of the love, attraction, and us falling into this old pattern of the way that we process love energy, you know, we became this inverted empress and became very lack oriented, manifesting this 5 of Pentacles trigger and like wound in the other, that the only way that they can process is by becoming more logical. And then our emotional energy just repelled them. So we see now how we betrayed ourselves in this connection, and how we would need to evolve in order to reattract our complement that we desire. Whether or not we can ever actually reconcile with this particular person, it really remains to be seen. Like, they have a lot of healing to do as well, and there's nothing that we can do about that. The Knight of Cups in reverse as our lesson. It's like falling into the broken heart and the emptiness. You know, as we believed we were offering our heart fully, but maybe that, you know, again, was a projection of our old wounding onto this person. And that's also why it's spiraled into the darkness that it is in now. And is part of our becoming more in control of our heart space, because we had to go through this lesson and learn this, that our offer wasn't really even true. And we weren't showing up as our authentic self. We weren't giving them really our true self to even love. And they have to come to their own terms with that. And however they come back into their own strength, you know, we can continue with our characlo energy to hold space for them and like support their healing. But it has to be from a distance at this point. And that's the 10 of Cups kind of in reverse that we hold. Like, we have to hold that wound. And not be affected by it, and not let it affect our heart space. Again, with the 9 of Cups showing up, middle world cut, we have to live and drink from this Kool-Aid and, you know, give the inner child the fantasy that this person is coming back. Again, with the higher self fully online, realizing that the energy is going to return. It may not be in that person. So either way, we need to evolve and have our space, our vessel, our living space, our person, our life, our finances, like everything in the order that we want it to be in order to be attractive to that person, in order to be attracting our highest complement. And it's not so that we can be validated by external energy. It's so that we are vibrating in our highest frequency, and that we just naturally attract our tribe. Nine of Wands showing up in reverse on the top. Now, this 9 of Wands has been showing up like every day. It showed up in my reading I had with a outside medium who I consulted with, and it was also on my table from the day before. Right side up, talking about our resourcefulness and our ability to just push the cage bars open. You know, but there's still this yearning of the divine feminine, this not really believing, this only seeing the false hologram garden and not really seeing what's behind it and the true authentic self. Today it's showing up in reverse. Okay, so it's amplifying this meaning, this need for protection, this increasing pressure. The bars of the cage are shrinking around us. When the 9 is reversed, outside pressure can become almost unbearable. So it's time to reject further demands upon you. There are psychic attacks. Like this other person that you potentially could have pushed into like a psychic kind of vortex spin out, that again is like forcing their Capricornian nature to just go deeper into logic and like reject their own emotions and kind of go deeper into their wounding. So it's like you feel this guilt, right? So that's like a way that maybe we're psychic attacking ourselves. It might not be them actually doing it, but they could be also thinking of you and projecting negative energy towards you, because like there's still unfinished business between you, but like now's not the time for you to reach out. So yeah, but if you keep like looping in this and psychic attacking yourself, we're going to burn out. So we need to self-care. We need to go do something out of our comfort zone, out of our regular routine, something that allows that inner child to play and also is a preparation for this energy to return. Okay? Our higher self fully realizing the reality of the situation, okay, and that we can't just reach out to them and say, hey, look at all this great stuff I'm doing and I still love you. No, we can't really do that, but we have to continue to act and form our life in such a way as to energetically create this like pink bubble of sanctuary. Avoid making important decisions when this energy is around us and like our energy is kind of low. We need to build this pink energy bubble back up around us, creating this, like, again, the sanctuary of the lilac garden. It's not so much cord cutting, but it is an energetic cleanse. We're still allowing for permeability. We're just really working on our boundaries and realizing that our solitude is sacred. We're embodying our own light. And we're embracing the hermit energy. And realizing, again, this is not the time for us to reach out to the other than, just to shine our light and show that we're still here in love. If there's like a non-invasive way maybe that you can show this person that you're still supporting them in a way that doesn't come across as pushy or needy, maybe do that, but remain focused on your rose path, this Venus path. See how the raven is looking down into the white rose and the maiden is like meditating on that and showing up in white, and there's white flowers, the white orbs, the phase of the moon. Up here I'm getting this like hourglass shape, divine timing. All right, so just continue to like send that person love, and maybe it's not something. Look at this pink kind of light sparkling from the flame into the amethyst here. All right, there's a light that shines, and it's like now I'm kind of thinking that they do need you as like a beacon. I'm seeing a face showing up here, like a ripple in water of the goddess. But it's also air. It's like smoke tendrils coming up around this raven. And then the raven is, and look how it's kind of all connected. But then there's a little disconnect here. So we have to allow for space. We have to allow for openings. That's this yellow energy mixing kind of with a a green, and it's giving me like a bit of, it's kind of like a sickness though, like energy, like a needing to be healed. It's giving me like when you're congested, and that somehow like there's like some type of energetic gesture, a heart gesture, because now I'm being brought into the deeper green of the heart space, and then the golden transferring into the ultraviolet star chakra light that we can share as a gift. Focus on, okay, there's something that we can create energetically that we can kind of send off, like even in an orb of just energy to the person, to the situation, however it manifests for you. But for my collective, it's likely a love reading, and it's likely a person that you're thinking of in this scenario. And we can't get out of our King of Cups energy. We can't reach out and make this better. We cannot fix this in the material world the way that we've been operating. It's a new type of offering, a new type of gift, an energetic peace offering. There's like a truce that you're trying to achieve. I think that's beautiful, and we can't force it though on this person, you know? We get the Magician on the middle world cut. We have everything we need. We have all the tools we need at our disposal. We have to be discerning and know that we're working in divine timing. If you want to continue to send this person love, then you should from a distance, and devise ways to be supportive that are not invasive and not selfish and not done to feed your own ego. Don't let that become a preoccupation of the inner child. Leave that to the version of the higher self that can discern. The inner child can go ahead and continue to play with the preoccupation that this energy is returning, and we are preparing the space. So let's get to that now, okay? I'm going to leave that here. I hope that you have some things on your to-do list in mind to cultivate this genuine, authentic, and fully online garden for our high priestess to walk in and set these stones for the path, welcoming new energy. Talk to you again soon, okay? I love you.